What's good, everybody? It's Jonah coming back at you on a video. So for this video here, I wanted to talk about keeping the dream alive and why it's so important. So first and foremost, the dream, that is your North Star. That is your desire, something that your major goal, something that you want to achieve and experience in your life. And the dream itself, the dream serves as your North Star. The dream gives you direction, it gives you purpose for your life. It tells you what it is that you're aiming for, and it gives you insight, right? At least with your imagination, as far as how you want your life to be or how do you want to live. And the dream is so powerful because it it literally gives you motivation, right? When times get tough, focusing on that dream will help you push that forward because the dream is the long-term goal, right? And so if you're dealing with turmoil or adversity in the short term, right? Then for most people who may not have that dream alive and well, right? The dream may have been put on the back burner. For those people, they could just be so fixated on the short-term obstacles and decide to give up on that dream because the short-term problems are too big. And so, or they believe that it's too big, right? Even though a lot of times these minor problems could only just be temporary. And because they give up in the short term, that also prevents them from achieving the long term. Now, I'll use an example here to help you guys better understand this, right? If we were to use college as an example, right? Of course, the long term goal, the dream when you get into college is, of course, to graduate, to imagine yourself walking across that stage. Well, if you're dealing with lousy classes or you're struggling academically, right? Say you're experiencing a lot of challenges with the homework, the assignments, the group projects, the exams, the essays, whatever it is. If you don't have that long-term picture, like that dream to refer to so that you can keep pushing forward, then sometimes the short term may appear to be too big, or the short term may just appear to just be a wall that you can't ever go past. But if you constantly refer to the dream, the vision of you walking across that stage, graduating and hugging your parents, it'll help you push past the short term. It'll help you get to that goal, that destination. Same idea if your dream is to own a restaurant, right? Every time you close your eyes, you envision yourself being the owner of one of the most successful restaurants in your area, serving the best food, right? The restaurant itself is full all the time because people love the food. And you envision yourself as being the head operator manager, right? Sometimes you go in the back and help with cooking. Sometimes you work in the front, right? You're wearing all hats. That is your dream, to have a restaurant like that, right? One of the best restaurants in the area. If right now you don't have the finances to be able to open a restaurant, some will see that short-term obstacle as being the big wall, the big hump that they're not able to get past. And so the dream of the restaurant, right? If they don't focus on the long-term vision of that dream, then that dream of having the restaurant goes away. When if someone were to fall in love and continue keeping the dream alive of them owning that restaurant because that's their passion, that's what they're calling, that's what they want to do, they kept that dream alive, then they will look at that obstacle and say, you know what, all it is just a temporary obstacle. Somehow, some way that'll be handled, but I'm going to continue operating as normal, right? Because it's true. Even if you don't have the finances to open up your own restaurant, that doesn't mean the finances will never appear, right? Because there's loans that you can take out from the bank. There's investors that will be open to investing if you have a good enough idea, right? There's also people that may be in your circle that might want to invest, right? You never know if you may ever randomly stumble across a lump sum or some opportunity might land on your lap, right? You don't know this. So someone that keeps the dream alive will look at that situation and say, hey, I may not have the finances to open up my own location, but that's not stopping me from looking around for potential locations for this, right? You don't need the money for the restaurant to begin looking at potential locations of where you would want this venue to be at, right? Because there's obviously stores closing and opening all the time in different areas. So you can still look for potential locations, right? You can still, if you've been, let's just say you love cooking, right? And you want to be at least the main cook when you first start off, right? Let's just say you make food so well, but you cook off of instinct, right? Of course, that's not ideal if you're eventually going to hire chefs, right? You want to have standardized recipes. You can still work towards standardizing those recipes so that when the time comes when you do get to hire additional chefs or cooks, they'll have a recipe to follow so that the food is consistent each and every time it gets ordered, right? And having that recipe will also help you be able to budget out how much each, the cost for each meal so that you can put an appropriate price tag for that dish as well, right? So obviously the business can profit. You can also work on the menu and still, if you're familiar with Photoshop or someone else you might know is a designer, right, to help create potential designs for when the time comes, right? Like that is someone who is keeping the dream alive, right? Even if they may not have the answers in the short term, that's still someone, because they're keeping the dream alive, they still have the North Star that's still allowing them to push forward. And that's why keeping the dream alive is so important. Because you can ask them, hey, what's your goal? What is your striving for? And most people won't have an answer for that, right? They're just doing what's expected of them. They're in school because that's what's expected. They're working to make ends meet, but also that's because that's what's expected. They may not be pursuing something or going after something that they truly want that will really make them happy. And so keeping the dream alive, that will help keep you on the right path towards whatever it is that you want. Some people may even be looking at these videos and thinking like, hey, Joel, how is it possible that you're still putting out videos day in, day out? Literally every single day you're dropping videos, when I can just go look at your channel and I'm only seeing a handful of views. Some videos may get 3 views, other videos may get 10. The upper end of my better videos right now as far as views are probably at 20 to 25, right? I rarely have ever cracked the 30 view mark on videos. Some people look at that and say, how can you keep doing that? And that is because I'm keeping the dream alive. Because in my mind, I already created the picture of how my life is going to be and how I'm going to be operating, the things that I want to be doing. And I understand that YouTube is going to be part of my life. Like this is going to be part of my lifestyle. This is how I'm going to be able to connect with other people all around the world, right? To connect with the masses, to really continue giving people guidance and helping people push forward in the right direction. So although the channel where it's at may not be getting as much traction as I would like it to, right? There's no reason for me to stop, right? Because I already have, like, the dream already exists. The dream is alive and well within me. And so that's what keeps pushing me forward. I can't just stop, because then if I were to stop, I would still be thinking about the dream. And I understand that in order for me to continue getting closer to the dream, I need to continue living the dream. And that's doing this, right? And this right now is just, this is the early stages. All this is doing is just setting the foundation. And you need to believe that as well. You need to operate like that as well. You need to believe that you're already at the end goal. Because if you believe you're at the end goal, you're going to be operating as though you're at the end goal. And if you're in your mind, if you already have your mind made up that you're already at the end goal, then you're going to be operating with more confidence and more belief in yourself, rather than you thinking that you're at the beginning stages and just being so nervous about doing anything, right? When people are nervous or afraid to make mistakes, those are the people that either have delayed progress or make very little progress at all because they're worried if they're doing something right or wrong. Sometimes the right action is just by doing, is just by getting started and not being so hard and so or judgmental, right? Because you have to understand you will get better over time. Things will improve over time because you will continue getting experience and you'll continue being better, right? Like you're going through the motions. And so that right there is going to make you better. You're going to continue learning. You always will find ways to get better. Sometimes you just have to get started to just see where you're at, to gauge where it is that you're at. But you can always continue growing and expanding. That will happen over time. So that right there, that is just, additional motivation and, you know, just insight that I wanted to give to my fellow YouTubers of this, because I've seen a lot of small channels supporting me, and I want to say shout out to all you guys. So that is the reason why I push through, and I want to set an example for you as well. If you're a small channel and you're watching these videos and you're seeing this, have this be motivation. Have this be your green light to say, you know what, I'm gonna just go all in, and I don't really care about anything else, because you understand the dream. You've created the picture in your mind, and you know that now reality has to catch up. And you doing this over and over, going through the motions, that's you showcasing that you have belief because you're persisting, right? If you didn't believe, you wouldn't be persisting. So me putting out these videos still, showing that I'm persistent, means that I believe that it's possible. And you need to too. In all areas of your life, right? You need to keep the dream alive, because the dream is what's going to give you direction, is what's going to give you a reason to wake up and go after it each and every day, because you understand that you now have an opportunity to go do something great and do something that you enjoy and go make it happen. We all need to get comfortable living this life chasing our dreams, because that's what's truly going to make us happy, right? Being able to create the life that we want to create, live life on our terms. That's what we want to do. That we all deserve that, all of us, because we all deserve happiness. We don't deserve to just be told what to do, or just only live this life by yet under the direction of other people, right? No, it comes a point in time where you need to take control of your own life and say, this is what I want to do, and just go all in. And as you go all in, right, you being all in and being fully committed, that will already push you into the top 1% or 5%, because most people just they want to swim without getting wet, right? If you're all in, then you're willing to accept everything, and you're saying, you know what, all of this is going to be part of my journey, and I'm going to continue. I won't stop until I make it to the end. So this is why keeping the dream alive is so important, because the dream, the vision that you have, that long-term vision is what's going to propel you past all of the short-term problems or obstacles that you might experience along the way. So that wraps up the video. If you enjoyed the video, do leave a like and subscribe, as we are on the road to 50 subscribers, right? So thank you for watching this video. Once again, guys, let's show well, and I'm out. See you guys for the next video.